Hi guys, Lisa Laurie here and I'm back with another video. Happy Sunday everyone! This week we're going to talk about Ecclesiastes 3. Everything has its time. So, everything does have its time, really, when we think about it. And God has a plan for everything and His timing is perfect. It's not the timing that we want. I mean, we always know what we always say we want stuff and God doesn't always give it to us right away, right? It's like that saying, people plan and God laughs. Or if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So anyways, I'm just going to read it now. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die. Right? A time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted. Like the first fruits or whatever. When your fruit is ripe, when your plants are ripe, you pick them, don't you? Every baby is born, everybody dies. A time to kill and a time to heal. I don't think that's meant literally. It's not a literal kill because one of the 10 Commandments says thou shalt not kill. So it's not a literal killing of something. It's like a time to cut ties with somebody. And then there's also a time to heal and forgive them or let them back in. Maybe not let them back into your life, but might really refer to even someone else, like let that person back to your life, like if they, or maybe it is the same person, they come back and say they're sorry. I mean, it's when trust has been broken, it's hard to forgive, it's hard to open yourself up and trust that person again, but there is a time for that, and that's the time to heal, and a time to build up, a time to break down, and a time to build up. Pretty self-explanatory. Time to break down. I mean, sometimes it's okay to fall apart. And I'm still learning that. And then there's a time where you just have to rise up and just be like, okay, I'm not going to let this tear me down. God has me. I know He's not going to let me fall. A time to weep and a time to laugh. Crying is good. Crying cleanses your soul. Laughing is the best medicine. A time to mourn and a time to dance. When people die, when somebody dies, when you lose someone, you're going to mourn. You're going to feel sad, feel grief, but eventually you got to stop wallowing in that grief and just celebrate the time you had with them, because if you stay in your grief, if you wallow in that grief for too long, you're going to end up feeling bitter. You feel angry at God for taking this person away from you. When instead you should be celebrating their life, you should be celebrating the time you had with them. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. I'm not exactly sure what that part of it means, but a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. I'm not really sure what it means, but we'll keep reading. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. That's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, accept, and then a time to accept, and a time to not accept. To be like, hey, I'm not going to let this into my life. A time to gain and a time to lose. We all have losing battles. Everybody does. It's part of being human. But when we get to heaven, there will be no more losing anything. Heaven is paradise. So, a time to keep and a time to throw away. It's like this ring that my mom found when she was in Grenada. She had a dream about finding a ring in a drain. She found it. She had it for years and years, and then she just lost it. She likes to say it moved on to its next owner. It wasn't hers to keep, so a time to keep and a time to throw away. Sometimes you throw it away physically, and sometimes it just simply moves on. Weird how things happen like that. A time to tear and a time to sow. Time to break and a time to mend. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. Pretty self-explanatory. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. A time to love and a time to hate. Really, the Bible is all about love. It's basically a big love story of God's love for us, and we are also called to love our neighbors as ourselves, as mentioned. Love our neighbors like we love ourselves. But it says there is a time to love and there's also a time to hate. Like, I mean, it does say love the sinner and hate the sin. So you love the sinner and you hate the sin. I guess that's. And then a time of war and a time of peace. The end. There's been wars all throughout the Bible, just like in our actual history books. War is just part of life because we can't get along with each other for some reason. I don't know why. We're all the same deep down, and nobody can get along with anybody. Everybody's like this. We're all picking stuff at each other. But there will come a time of peace when God will bring peace upon the earth and make a new earth and a new heaven in the end time after the tribulation. So that's pretty much everything that's in that section. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Love you all.